What's up, everybody? This is Ben with another HBAR update. Um, I've been I've been enjoying reading your comments, and thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I think somebody said something about how I have a very holistic approach to this, which I think is cool. This isn't fancy. This isn't edited. I don't sit here and plan and have notes beside me. I just kind of talk live. You might hear my kids in the background. You might hear my dog bark. You might hear something like that. So I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just sharing my thoughts on these certain levels, especially on HBAR because it seems to be the popular one right now. So here we are. I think we're still very messy. I don't see much structure at all here, and I'm kind of jealous of some structure on some other coins, and I'll show you that in a minute. But first thing I want to talk about are the Bollinger Bands, and notice how tight we're getting here. I mean, we're coming right down to it here. So a move is coming, one way or the other. Look at them here, how tight they got. We moved up. You can look at other big moves and know that the Bollinger Bands were super tight before we made that move. Look at them right here, super tight, and we made the move. So we're to that point again. Bollinger Bands are coming down. We're staying on top of the 9 on the hourly, which is a good thing. On the 4-hour, I don't think we are, though. 4-hour is not a good chart, or not a fun chart to look at. It does not look that great to me. So let's stay on the 1-hour because it looks a little better. I think we talked about the last video, we were kind of like in here, and we talked about this move coming down and whether 38 cents would be able to hold, and the significance of this 38 cents mark. Not that we've spent tons of time on it, but that very significant things happened on that line. The first one being this big move up, went right to it. Very significant area of interest there. We hit it a couple times here, but then we fell back through it. And then our next big lower high came up and hit it exactly, which is very significant again. And then we did not see that level of 38 cents again until this last move up. And it happened on this, what I call a FOMO candle here, which is kind of disappointing. When I saw this happen, I was already thinking this is going to come back down because of this. I wanted this to hit 38 and get rejected and come back down and recheck this and then start going again and break through it that way, not like this. And so we talked about that a little bit in the last video. We wondered if this was going to come down and hold support or not. It did not. And then I said, if it doesn't come down and then it starts to move back up, be cautious that we could be putting in a double top here, and which would lead us right back kind of to where we were. And so that's what happened. I was right on that. I'm not right a lot of the times. Well, I'm right a lot of the times. I'm wrong a lot of the times. But I was right on this double top pattern. It came down. We actually went down to like 33. We almost went to the bottom of this, which would have been a pretty significant place to hit, but it didn't. So this is where we are now. We're still in between all of our zones. A couple things I'm looking at. So don't be in complete despair here. If you bought up here, don't freak out. I would not sell and take the loss. I think we're going to come back up eventually. So just hold on to it. And if you have more cash, buy lower. But the first thing I'm looking at is, and you guys can see it too, is the shape of the way this downtrend has happened here. We have not had this shape in HBAR for a long time. And let me show you. Look how this one happened. A sharp drop with a sharp retrace back up. Sharp drop, retrace back up. Drop, right back up. Drop, back up. Drop, back up. Where else? Drop, back up, right? All these times since our structure broke down, every drop we've had has just been this kind of impulse back up, which has led just to more lower highs. We had this move here, which we know how I feel about that. Even this drop right back up, right? This drop is different, and it's the first time we've kind of seen it. There's a pattern that's very bullish called the cup and handle, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself here on this, but this is how a cup and handle starts. You got to have this curved drop in a kind of a flat bottom. If you look at it, it would look something like this, where we have this flat bottom, and then we come back up to test this same level here. That's the cup. And then you don't go as low, and you have your handle form. And then you have to have continuation after that, which would look something like this, and we start this nice formation pattern, right? So this is a possibility, and it doesn't mean that it's going to stay right on the line. It could kind of chop around on it, but it makes this pattern. I think that, I'm okay to say that, and I'm not just in a prediction way, but because of the pattern of the candles here, and because of the MACD starting to flip green here, and this is more of a lagging indicator, meaning that there's usually more to come of this after. So there's probably more green to come, which would start to bring this thing up. So that's a possibility. My other possibility that I'm thinking of is maybe we do some kind of wide, flat bottom, double bottom pattern here, and then we try to retest here and do something like this. So these are my bullish scenarios. You guys say I'm bearish a lot, but those are both bullish scenarios, and I think they're possible not because I'm predicting them and just making it up, but because of the charts and what's going on here. Another big indicator that you guys should know about is Bitcoin dominance right now. This thing fell off a cliff today, and that's very significant. What this means is money is coming out of Bitcoin and going into other coins. Bitcoin is not as dominant, if that makes sense. That's why it's called the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? So we are falling, and you can see it in other altcoins. Like, look at Ethereum. It's the exact opposite. So Bitcoin dominance starts dropping, Ethereum starts taking off, right? Other coins are trying to do it too, including Litecoin, which I'm surprised by, but it's attempting it. I want you guys to look at a coin called ICX. This structure is what we want for HBAR. This is what we dream of. This structure is what brings people with deep pockets and lots of money to get involved because they know what is coming here. It is a very strong pattern. If you're ever wondering what a bull flag looks like, here they are, one after the other, right? This one might put in another one here, or we might finally consolidate for a little bit and then start these bull patterns again. So this structure here is what I'm always looking for and wanting, because it attracts people that trade full-time, and they look for these patterns, and they know that they can get in on these dips, and they know that it's going to probably continue. There's no guarantee, but probably. It limits their risk. When I look at HBAR, do I see anything here? I mean, do I see anything here that makes me feel comfortable about what's going on, other than the fact that there's a lot of hype? I love this coin. I have a lot of it. I think it's going to go up. That's why I'm still in it. But if I wasn't in it and I was a trader with a ton of money, I look at this chart and I think, there's no way I'm getting in this right now. I have no idea what this thing's going to do. It's pumping, it's dumping, it's putting in double tops all over the place. Hasn't put in higher highs. Ever since it broke down, it was doing this nice structure, just like ICX, right? And we've just had chaos since the structure broke down. So at some point, some structure has to come back into play here. And that would be these formations that we talked about. Possibly a cup and handle forming here on the hourly. Possibly a double bottom here with continuation, right? So those are the things I'm looking at on HBAR. If you were asking whether you should buy now or wait, um, I'm not going to tell you because I don't tell people what to do. I will say this. If you have a lot of HBAR already down low, then I'm waiting. You know, I have the luxury of owning a lot of HBAR already. And so I don't need to buy more. I want to. I have cash sitting down here waiting to buy, but I don't need to. If you're new to this coin and you want to get into it, then I would suggest that you start scaling in. And what that means is you place small orders when this thing's going down, and you get filled as it's going down. And yeah, some orders get filled up here, and some get filled, and some get filled, and then you have orders down here that didn't get filled. But what it means is you get an average cost across this whole drop to where you're sitting about right here right now, which you're even. If you were to go all in here, then you're all in here already, and you're down, and you got to wait for this thing to come back up, which it's going to. Might take some time, but like I said, some structure has to happen first, I think, to attract people other than HBARbarians, you know, that are in this, you know, for the long haul. We need the people with big pockets to come in who see something that looks strong. The world case value for this is great. It's getting used more than anything else. So that's a strong indicator, and that's why people are starting to look at this. But then they come and they look at a chart that looks like this, and they think, well, I'm not getting in this yet, you know? And I'm telling you, they're looking at this, and they're saying, I wouldn't doubt if this thing comes back down to here. And so they're kind of waiting on the sidelines. Unless we get some structure that starts to form, and we get some continuation and some nice strong structure here that starts to attract other buyers other than us HBARbarians here that are just going to buy and hold. So those are my thoughts. Another thing, just real quickly, I know this video is getting longer than normal, but I want you to look at the Bitcoin chart. People think I'm a bit crazy for this, but I drew this pattern I don't know, a week ago or something, and tweeted about it. Bitcoin has this uptrend line here that I think is very important, and it has made its largest moves off of this trend line. So this was our previous all-time high, you know, around 20 grand. This move up was 130%. It's huge, right? It retraced right back down. Guess where it hit? Right on this trend line, exactly. And if I do this measurement up to that one, it's 100% move again off this trend line. So I kind of feel that Bitcoin wants to come back down and hit this line again before it makes its next move. And that's a pretty bold call. My computer's freaking out. I don't know what it's doing. But this is a head and shoulders pattern here on the daily that I think is in possible play. It could easily get invalidated and just shoot up. But it's something that I'm watching, and it's why I'm not jumping into HBAR right now. Because if this head and shoulders pattern plays out and Bitcoin does come down and retest this line, it depends on when it does it. It could do it quickly. If it does it quicker, then it's going to go lower. Again, there's no guarantees here, but I'm just looking at charts and levels. That's why I have my HBAR orders set where they are, and I'm glad with the bags that I have. If I get to buy more than I do. So hopefully that helps you out. A few things to look at. This daily on the Bitcoin chart. The Bitcoin dominance as it's dropping. A lot of other coins are starting to move, including coins like BNB, ICX, Ethereum. Hopefully HBAR comes in next and starts putting in some structure. As I told you, you probably hear my dog bark. This is real life here, people. So hang in there. Like I said, if you bought HBAR higher than what it is now, don't completely freak out like my computer is doing. Know that there's a very, 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 very good possibility that it's going to go up. I believe it's going to go way up. So you should be fine. If you don't have a lot, start scaling in. If you do, then maybe gamble and try to get some lower buys. See if Bitcoin head and shoulders plays out, and maybe you get a chance to buy lower. Otherwise, watch this for a nice cup and handle formation. You guys can watch that. Or maybe a big fat W formation as well. So that's what I'm thinking right now. That's what I'm watching. Other than that, nothing has changed for me. Thank you guys again for watching. Share and retweet and stuff like that. Help me grow my channel. I'm new to this. I just started doing this just about a month ago. So thanks again for the comments. I appreciate it. Let's make some money. Peace out.